Well, hello, this is Cheryl Henderson with a nugget from New Life. I'm so excited that you came back, for those of you that have come back for part two. This is going to be part two of talking about marriage and family, because I think that's such an important thing in our society today. It seems to be falling apart on every hand. Last video, we talked a little bit about the differences between men and women. And I want to finish up that, and I want to go over something really quick with you. There is a book out there called His Needs, Her Needs. I would have to say it's probably one of the best books I've ever used in counseling people on their marriage, because you would think that the needs of a man and the needs of a woman would be the same, and they are so opposite. You know, it's awesome. I used to ask the Lord sometimes when praying for my husband, God, why did you give me this man? He is nothing like me. And God said, that's why I gave you this man. He has the strengths you don't have, and you have the strengths he doesn't have. So listen to what His Needs, Her Needs says. His needs are sexual fulfillment. Her needs is affection. Hey, not even close to the same. I counseled one guy one time, and we were talking about this, and we were talking about sexual fulfillment for a man. He said, yeah, it's up there with air. So see how important it is to a man. But to women, we want more affection, not the same as sex. Number two, for a man, he likes recreation and companionship. The woman, she wants conversation. This one is really an issue, because the guy just wants to go have fun. Ed tried taking me deer hunting one time. I only went once, by the way. I never went again. But we did find a thing that we like to do together, and we love to bass fish. And I was his companion, and we had so much fun doing that. And then also, I wanted, when I come home from somewhere, I want to tell him, Ed, let me tell you what happened. And I wanted to tell him every detail. Remember what we talked about before? The man wants to, get to the goal. He would want me to bottom line it, but I wanted to tell him every single detail. So there's a big difference there in how we communicate. In a man, he wants an attractive spouse. He wants you looking good, mama. It doesn't mean everybody has to be a size 6 and be like a trophy wife. I'm not talking about that. He just wants you to look good and not let yourself go. It's okay to go get the hair did every once in a while and get your nails done and, do a little sprucing up. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to go crazy. But anyway, he likes a woman that looks good. Woman, we want honesty and openness. I can honestly say Ed Henderson never lied to me, ever. And you may say, well, I don't believe that. I mean, I would come home and I would say, hey, what does this look like? Awful, he would say. And sometimes he was too honest. Awful, you need to change that. I don't like that at all. So we're very different as men and women. Another thing for the men, he wants domestic support. In other words, when he comes home from work, he wants to see that the house is cleaned up and there's food on the table. And hey, if you both work, I get it. Then you work together. But the woman, she needs financial support. Guys, I know that there's a lot of women out there that are making a ton of money. Some of them are probably making more than the man, and that's all well and good. But for most women, financial support is security. That means they don't have to worry that the light bill is going to get paid. They don't have to worry that I can go to Publix and buy groceries this week. Financial support brings great security to a woman. So I'm going to end that a little bit for some of the differences, and I want to talk to you about another subject called deaf and dumb. And you may say, what in the world? Well, deaf and dumb in how we are teaching marriage has to do with communication. Men and women do not talk. Our lives are so busy today that we flip in and out. Okay, I'll see you at 6. Okay, what about this? And you never sit down and have husband and wife time. I want to encourage you to have a time of day where you sit down and you debrief, so to speak. Ours was at night. Sometimes it'd be 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And we would sit down and Ed would say, well, how was your day? And I'd tell him things I went through. He would tell me things he went through. We talked about decisions we would have to make in the future. We didn't have kids. We didn't have the cell phone ringing. We didn't have any kind of interruptions. So I want to encourage you to find a time where just the two of you can sit down and talk. It's really important. And by the way, I encourage date nights. So if you get a chance, have some time when you can have a date night. Okay, we've talked about the differences between men and women. We've talked about deaf and dumb communication. So stay tuned for another segment on marriage, and I look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.